All right.
You're one of the ones that got arrested for the plot?
Yes, sir. Eric Molitor. I'm Eric Molitor.
Tell me about it real quick.
I don't even know where to start.
FBI infiltrated, basically set it up. Am I right?
The FBI set everything up. They drove people. They paid for everything. They wrote the script. Governor Whitmer herself opened her scheduling book and decided with the FBI and state police when to be the best time for the daytime ride, the nighttime ride. Then they dupe people into it. They even have we even have proof of them telling people, get as many people in the trucks as possible and don't tell them what you're doing until they're already on the road. Yep, it was 100% set up. And Governor Whitmer, and if they can do it to nobody like me, they will come after everybody else.
So,
all right, y'all, this is crazy. Now, I'm not sure if you've heard of this before, but there was a plot back in 2020, a plot that came up where men were arrested because allegedly they wanted to kidnap the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer. Now, this caused headlines all around the country because Gretchen Whitmer was considering a run for president. Even when they considered throwing Joe Biden out back in 2023, 2024, Gretchen Whitmer's name was at the top of the list. Now, back in 2020, when this whole thing came off, allegedly, there was a right-wing extremist group the FBI said had plotted, had planned, and actually went to the residence of the governor in an attempt to kidnap her and potentially take her life. But what has came out and what has happened from that situation has been jaw-dropping. And you know what's real funny? The lamestream media, no politicians are talking about it at all. Now, when the alleged kidnapping plot came out, oh my God, everybody was talking about it and how happy they were that she was safe. And she played it up and went right with it. Well, what if you found out that not only was the FBI involved in it, but what if Gretchen Whitmer herself was involved in it? Now, in this video, you're not just going to hear it from me. You're going to hear from the men who were actually accused and what actually happened to these men with this situation. Now, you saw in that first clip, one of them obviously must be free because he was shown in that video very jubilant. And when you hear what he really has to say, it's going to blow your mind. So buckle up, stay with me, because we're going to blow the lid off this alleged plot to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, what has happened with those men, and what the Department of Justice is planning on doing with everybody that's involved, especially now that it's the Trump DOJ. So roll with me on this, because I got articles and I got video clips that I'm going to show you that will blow your mind. So here we go. So right here, this was just put out today. DOJ pardon lawyer pledges hard look at plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Detroit, the U.S. Justice Department's new pardon attorney said he is going to take a hard look at two men who are serving long prison terms for leading a conspiracy to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. On the pardon front, we can't leave these guys behind, Ed Martin Jr. said this week on the Brianna Morello show. In my opinion, these are victims just like January the 6th, Martin said, referring to 1,500 people pardoned by President Donald Trump for crimes related to the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. The arrest of Barry Croft Jr., Adam Fox, and other anti-government extremists rocked the home stretch of the 2020 presidential election. Authorities said the cabal wanted to grab Whitmer, a Democrat, at her vacation home and start a civil war. Remember that. Croft 49 and Fox 42 were portrayed as leaders of the scheme. They were convicted of conspiracy in federal court in Grand Rapids, Michigan in 2022. Croft, a trucker from Delaware, was also found guilty of a weapons charge. Croft was sentenced to nearly 20 years in prison, while Fox, a Grand Rapids man, got a 16-year term. They're being held at a prison in Colorado, the most secure in the federal system. So they sent these men out to one of the most harsh secured prisons in Colorado for this alleged kidnapping plot on Governor Whitmer. Whitmer was never physically harmed. Martin called it a fed-napping plot, not kidnapping plot, apparently referring to the numerous undercover FBI agents and informants who had infiltrated the group and built the case. He said it looked like the weaponization of government. I have complete confidence that we are going to get a hard look at it. The president will want to know the facts about it, Martin said, pledging to get it on as quick as I can, I promise. An email seeking comment from Whitmer's office wasn't immediately returned Friday. In 2020, she blamed Trump for stoking mistrust and fomenting anger over coronavirus restrictions and refusing to condemn right-wing extremists. Later, when he was out of office, Trump cast doubt on the kidnapping scheme, calling it a fake deal. Now here it goes, y'all. Wait till you hear what actually went on. As a matter of fact, that gentleman that we were just listening to, his name is Eric Molitor. Now, I'm going to show you a clip of the alleged men who they say were involved in this plot. Now, 3 people have already been acquitted. They were acquitted and freed. Okay. These 3 were considered to be some of the quote unquote leaders. But let's listen. Now, this clip here is a little long, but these are the men who are in that right-wing extremist group that the FBI infiltrated and targeted. And we're talking about over 20 confidential human sources and FBI agents, actual agents who infiltrated this group and built this case that they were out to kidnap Governor Whitmer. Ironically, going into an election year that they used to go against Trump to help him not be reelected because he was stoking the fire of people. The coronavirus, the pandemic was going on, and they wanted to leverage everything they could to keep him from winning. And guess what? It worked. Obviously, he didn't win. Allegedly, he didn't win. But check out these so-called right-wing extremists, violent men. And then right after this clip, I'm going to let you hear Eric Molitor as he really goes deep into the plot. Now, this video here is taken prior to the alleged plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer. But these are one of the videos that got the FBI and the agencies interested in these people. Listen to what they're doing right here, and then we're going to roll right into the next clip. If you're enjoying this video, do me a solid, hit that like button, because I'll never ask you for a cash out or a super chat, but you hitting that like button, it really helps the channel, helps us get this information out. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And once you do, make sure you hit that notification bell and select all. That way you'll be notified when I upload new videos.
Down our history and our country. That's why I'm standing here today. I'm not here to be violent, but I'm about sick and tired of these brainwashed little kids over there being told something that's not even true anymore, and they destroy history. They're getting their education from the Mein Kampf book. This is exactly what Hitler did before he killed 6 million Jews. What is their intent? After they destroy our country and they destroy our nation and they destroy our history, what is their purpose after that? What 6 million people are they going to kill? They're not peaceful people. They burned down cop cars, they destroyed Grand Rapids, they destroyed cities all over this country. And they want us to be peaceful. We're peaceful. We've never harmed anyone. Groups like that have. You give them the choice to be violent and they will burn a city down. We're not putting up with it anymore.
Yeah. And Phil, you said, you guys aren't picking sides. It sounds like, you guys obviously have a side here. What do you say to the, folks over here that say we come in peace without pieces?
Then show me. Prove it to me. Prove it to me that you are peaceful. Yeah. That you are going to allow these people here to assemble peacefully. That's all I ask.
And if today happens, I think demonstrations are supposed to go till 3:30, and they are peaceful. Would that maybe affect your view of folks like this, or?
Everybody has a right to their opinion. That's why we're constitutionalists. But as soon as you become violent, this is getting out of hand. Why is this all happening on election year again? So the last 4 years, they didn't give a shit. People are being killed in the streets every day. I see Black Lives Matter. Where were they at when these little kids are getting killed in drive-bys? It's not an election year. So why now? What is the point in this statute? How did this statute trigger all these people all of a sudden? I don't understand what's going on with these people.
And what do you say to the folks that here say we do come in peace, we haven't destroyed anything, we don't have guns?
Well, again, prove it. That's fine. And we're here peaceful too. We're not here to harm anyone, but we don't want to see what's happening in every city in the nation right now. They turn violent and they start tearing shit down. That's not the way to be. And especially when how many of these people are from this neighborhood?
But ask them if they're from Allendale.
Are they from Allendale, or did this thing really trigger them that bad that they had to come out here? And why are they out here to protest this statute if they're not from Allendale? Because they're not going to talk to us. They've already had a bunch of people go over there, and they're not going to talk to you. So that's my question. Like I said, I don't understand why this statute suddenly on an election year with all this going on, that statute is a problem. And that these people should take it down or else? What's the or else?
Yeah, and what's it mean by this statute is going to come down one way or the other? I mean,
what does that mean?
I mean, to me, that's a threat.
That's saving a fucking America for going through that fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And what are you guys' feelings on the statue? Obviously, it has a Confederate soldier sitting next to a Union soldier with an enslaved child underneath the soldier.
It's American history.
If you erase any of American history, you might as well erase it all. Start all over. Get rid of everything. If that's the case.
And there's good and bad on all sides of everything, you know what I mean? So it's like, again, I don't know why everything suddenly they're so bold some other groups, not this group obviously, but they tore down the Lincoln Memorial, not the Lincoln Memorial, but one of the Lincoln statues in one of the other states. Like, isn't that the man that signed the Emancipation Proclamation? But you tore that down? These are the peaceful people. They come in peace. They don't mean no harm. We've also seen it in the past years when they mace little girls and hit people with bike locks. I don't have a gun, but I'll beat you with a club. This is, like I said, it's getting out of hand, man. That's why we want it to be peaceful.
So as you heard, these so-called right-wing militiamen, they're there because the left-wing extremist groups come into their city. They want to tear down statues. They want to violate people, and they want to get violent. But the left will tell you, oh, the right wing is all the violent. Look at all the violence that's been happening in this country. This isn't coming from right-wing or Trump-supporting people. This is coming from radicalized left-wing extremists. Now, I'm going to roll right into the Eric Molitor clip now. Real quick, here's another piece. Here's another clip that the FBI used in court to show that these men are, quote unquote, militia dangerous that want to destroy America and hurt people. Look at this.
I'm 870. Am I ready? But
now, what this looks like to me is they're practicing. They're honing their skills in case anything goes down. And I know people that do this. It's no different than people that go to the shooting range at all. But what they're doing, that's not against the law. They're a group, they're a militia group that is there to protect their neighborhood, protect their city, and protect their area. And I feel if we have more people like that, we will have less violence and we will have less crime. But see, you have these left-wing extremist groups that can come into a city, tear it up. I mean, they're not even from the city, destroy it. Look in Minnesota. Look out there in Oregon. Do you know most of the people, when they do get caught or arrested, they're not from that state? They're not even from there. And like you said, they wanted to tear down the Lincoln-related statues. He was supposed to be one of the good guys, right? No, they want to rewrite history. They want to turn this country into a God-hating, evil, demon-loving, kill cycle, like a Mad Max type place. That's what the Democrats want. They want order out of chaos. And if you study that phrase, you'll look through politics. You'll see how they use that order out of chaos, this whole new world order. And what that is to put the millions, or should I say the billions, what they consider to be irrelevant people at the bottom, while a small group of people are at the top. Now, how does this relate back to Gretchen Whitmer? It does, because in her effort to make the people on the right or Trump supporters or Trump himself look bad, they took clips of these guys shooting. They took news reports of these guys protecting their area and used it against them to try to put them in prison for life. They wanted these men gone. And guess what? It didn't work. Now listen to Eric Molitor, his entire, I'm going to let him go from the top where we started and let him run down this plot on what Gretchen Whitmer tried to do.
Real quick, I'm going to go back to Miranda, but tell me real quick, we only got about 20 seconds.
All right.
You're one of the ones that got arrested for the plot?
Yes, sir. Eric Molitor. I'm Eric Molitor.
Tell me about it real quick.
Real quick. I don't even know where to start.
FBI infiltrated, basically set it up. Am I right?
The FBI set everything up. They drove people. They paid for everything. They wrote the script. Governor Whitmer herself opened her scheduling book and decided with the FBI and state police when to be the best time for the daytime ride, the nighttime ride. Then they dupe people into it. They even have we even have proof of them telling people, get as many people in the trucks as possible and don't tell them what you're doing until they're already on the road. Yep, it was 100% set up. And Governor Whitmer, and if they can do it to nobody like me, they will come after everybody else.
So let me ask your part in this without getting, I don't know if you're still going through the legal battles on it.
Acquitted, man.
Acquitted. So acquitted. So this is one of those things. She's still out there pushing this as if it was a legitimate thing, that there was a kidnap plot against her that she set up with the FBI. So walk me through what actually happened that night.
Oh my gosh, man. So I didn't go on what's known as the nighttime ride. I was duped into the daytime ride. And oh my gosh, again, there's so much that goes into it. Anyways, I had set up a civil defense force for my area in Wexford, Cadillac City, because Antifa and BLM was coming up there. Through this process, I had met Adam Fox, who lived down here in Grand Rapids, actually. After a while, he got me a job in private security, which was really awesome. I thought this dude was really, really cool. And he actually is a good guy, by the way. The FBI, the government has lied about this man who's still in prison. Anyways, got a hold of me and asked me if I wanted to go for a ride. I asked, yeah, you know, what do you have in mind? I'm thinking it's this good guy shit that we got going on. Oops, sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay. But good guy stuff that we had going on, you know, looking for these vans that the police were telling us, you know, yeah, they're coming. This is what they're driving. Anyways, so that's what I thought we were doing. Nothing was said about Governor Whitmer or anything like that. So anyways, we get him and Dan Chappell, the original FBI informant there, another lying person right there. He came up to pick me up. So him and Adam Fox, we get all the way up to Elk Rapids, which was an hour away from my house. Nothing was talked about. It was a truck with 3 men. We talked about women, alcohol, guns, like Americans do, you know. And anyways, we get up to Elk Rapids, and they said her cottage. I'm still not putting it together. You know, I'm thinking maybe the Antifa or BLM is trying to hold up it at a private residence instead of doing these hotels and motels that we heard about.
You guys were more doing security or what?
I thought that we were. When we got up there, and I'm already in a truck with people 100 miles away from my house, then they started talking about Whitmer's cottage. And right there, dude, like my heart sunk. I didn't know if I was going to make it out of the situation alive. I had no idea what was going on. So anyways, yeah, I took a video. Adam asked me, he said, hey, Molitor, I need to take a video. So we drove by her place, and on his phone, I took a video, and that's how I got the material support for terrorism. And because I had my side piece on me, like I always did, that was the felony firearm. Wow. Yeah, that was really nice of them. The government, that's what I'm talking about. So anyways, so that's how I got wrapped into it. And then nothing happened after that. I'm like, well, if this was serious, they'd be talking more. There'd be a whole group. I didn't know about all the other guys. I went in a truck with 2 people, man. So I don't know what the heck is going on. You know what I mean? So anyways, I didn't say anything. Why am I going to tell on crazy people? What seemed like crazy talk. It didn't make sense. So anyways, then I got raided during a family get together. They pointed guns at my children. You know, they were just little kids, man.
Will do.
What you need to do, everybody, write, call, email your representatives, form civil groups in your own community amongst yourselves. I'm not even talking about militias or anything, just people who are active. Learn how the system works.
Wow. Like I told you that the rabbit hole goes deep. So wait until the DOJ, Pam Bondi, Cass Patel, wait till they all keep getting their hands around it and digging into it. I got a feeling this going to go way deeper, and we never know. It may even send the current governor of Michigan to a place that she never saw herself going, even though there is one place that I think, based on the belief systems and the things that she pushes, there's one place that she definitely may be going. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to bring this and share this information out there too. I really do appreciate you stopping by, especially if you watched up to this point. As always, if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, tell me what you think. Most importantly, I want you to be safe and you stay great. I'm Brian Maxwell saying I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.